All right, the first bag that we're gonna make is our Earth and Space bag. So in this middle section, right here, that's where you're gonna title it, Earth and Space. And if you have very nice handwriting, you can make it very pretty. If not, you can do it like I did. On the back, where the tab is that holds it closed, that's where I wanna put your name. So I'm just gonna pick a random name, Blake or something. Put your name, that way nobody steals your bag because each bag is worth 100 points each. Okay, next you're gonna take your cutout for Earth and Space. It should be this guy here. And we're gonna cut out the pictures and you're gonna glue them in the correct spot on the brown bag. So I'm just gonna go ahead and take my first page and I'm going to cut, this looks like this is the seasons diagram. And I'm gonna follow the outline. So I'm gonna take this one first, and he belongs on the bottom. So I'm gonna open up my bag, and he goes on the pocket. So here's my pocket. He's gonna go here. Take my glue. Bam. The other picture that goes with seasons is going to be day and night. That's this little square here. So you take your day and night, make sure you glue it so that you can read it and you're not putting it upside down. And he is also going to go here. Now, if you have regular glue versus a glue stick, I highly suggest using that because these is flimsy. This is gonna fall off if you're constantly using it. So the real glue actually works better. Okay, next I got, let's see, a hurricane and La Nina. So I'm gonna cut those out and I wanna cut out like this because we're gonna, okay. So I have La Nina and I have the hurricane. I'm gonna fold it like this so that I have like a little tab I can write inside and I'll glue on the back. There's a third one, but it's somewhere over there. So I'm going to fold this back up to sew and I'm gonna open up the right arm and I'm gonna go onto the inside of the right arm. And I'm going to use the panels to glue them. I'm gonna put La Nina on the inner part, and then I will have its partner, El Nino, whenever I find it, he'll go here. And then I'm gonna put the hurricane right here. All right, so I know that I need El Nino, so he's on my third page. I'm gonna go ahead and cut him out so I can finish this panel before I move on. So I'm gonna get my El Nino. So I've glued El Nino here, and then I have one more thing that goes above the hurricane, and that was the Coriolis effect. He's on the second page, and that's this guy here, so I'm just gonna cut around there.
Good.
And then, okay.
Don't forget to fold this. She folded it over so it wouldn't get in the way.
The next piece of paper is going to be Ocean Currents, and it was on the second page with the Coriolis effect. And that's gonna be this picture here.
Go.
All right, so I put my hurricane diagram here. This panel is done until you, of course, go in and fill in your notes. So I'm gonna go back to my first page. I have 3 more pictures left. I know that this guy's gonna be by himself and so is this guy, so I'm gonna go ahead and cut them out.
Go.
All right, so I'm gonna go ahead and close this arm back up, put it in its original position. I need the little arms, so I'm gonna unfold it once and I'm gonna use the left little arm, and my moon phases are gonna go on the inside of my left little arm. Okay, make sure that when you glue it down that you have the sun on the right side, not the left. If you put it on the left, it's upside down. And then you have your galaxy diagram, and it's gonna go on the outside of the little arm. I'm gonna glue it there. Okay, so on the third page, I need to go with my galaxies, my gravitational force diagram. And he's gonna be The last pictures that I have left on my first page is my spring tide and my neap tide. So I'm gonna go ahead and cut those out. All right, so this is going on the other little arm. So this is the right little arm, it's the outside. I have my spring and neap tide. It also requires the solar eclipse picture, so I'm gonna go ahead and cut that out and glue it in this corner. Now, it was forgotten in the photo, so it's really important that you watch this video and write this down. So your spring tide is when you have a new moon and it is 180-degree angle. And the spring tide is when you have the highest of the high tide and the lowest of the low tide. So you have the highest of high and lowest of low. So if you're looking at the diagram of Earth, here is going to be your high tides and here is going to be your low tides. You need to be able to identify that on the picture. Your neap tide is when you have that 90-degree angle between the Earth, the Sun, and the Moon. So that's that 90-degree angle. And you're really not going to have a difference between the high and the high and the low and the low. So there is minimal difference between your high and low tide. Remember, both of these only occur twice a month because they happen at your new moon and your full moon and your first quarter and third quarter for the neap tide. Okay, so on this page, these are only 3 diagrams. I'm just gonna go ahead and quickly separate them real quick. I'm gonna count this as 1 diagram. All right, so now that the little arms are done, I'm gonna go ahead and open them both and I'm gonna use this center piece for my HR diagram. All right, so now I'm gonna close this back up. I'm gonna go back up to the top. I have this weather map picture. It's gonna go on the left long arm on the inside. So it's inside of the left long arm. I'm gonna put it in the fatter panel or the wider panel. Okay, and then the last one is your convection, conduction, radiation. He is gonna go in the very, very center of the long panel. And I'm gonna put him up here. And then this section needs one more picture and it needs the EMS, which is located on our last paper, this long one. So next we're gonna do the 2 topographic map ones. That's gonna be these 2 little guys. And then I'm also gonna cut off this random one, which is the watershed. So our 2 topographic map diagrams are gonna go on the outside of the top left arm, and we're gonna put the picture of the 2 mountains first on the first skinny panel at the top, and then we will also put the crater right here. The watershed is going to go on the outside of the right arm, right smack dab in the middle. And this last 2 pictures, you're just gonna separate. And the last 2 diagrams are gonna go on the bottom of the pocket. So remember, the pocket had the seasons and the rotation. Just gonna lift it up one time. This is the bottom. And you're gonna put this guy here and this guy here, and then we'll be done.